It's been months in the making and finally it's here. We'll take you to Davison's fresh new recreation area.
Homecoming week is upon us. We have all the info about the upcoming festivities.
And the football team took part in what's starting to become an annual tradition. All this and much more is still in store on today's edition of DTV News.
Live from Sandy Coots Studios, it's DTV News. Your local source for news, sports, and student life.
Davison's newest attraction is now open. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Grant Palmentier.
And I'm Alex Windle. The township pulled the cover off the brand new Lake Callis. The project is part of an ongoing expansion that has been sweeping the area over the last 5 years.
Named after the late Bob Callis, the project took just months to create but years to plan, and it finally came to fruition this June.
The snip of a ribbon officially marked the anticipated premiere of Davison's new hotspot. Saturday, June 20th was the day Randy Stewart and his crew's hard work became a reality as the Davison community came together for the grand opening of Lake Callis.
13 months ago, this was a muddy old cornfield, and with the dedication of a lot of guys, we turned it into this facility right now, 13 months later.
The Davison community was overjoyed to have such an attraction become a part of the township.
It's absolutely beautiful. I love that it's so close to home and cheap, and there's so many different amenities that it's fun for the whole family.
I love it. They put so much work into it. The kids are loving it. It's a family-friendly environment, and it's clean.
However, the final product didn't become a reality without a few bumps and bruises along the way.
We had a lot of issues during the construction of it, but it all came together. It was a total relief when we finally got to cut the ribbon and turn it over to the community to play.
Lake Callis is the latest step in the evolution of Davison Township. Over the last decade, there have been many new and growing businesses in the area. Meijer's in 2008, Menards in 2011, Fernco's new factory behind Lake Callis. And now, within the next few months, a new upscale restaurant will be opening its doors to Davison. Black Rock Bar and Grill is set to open this fall and will be a part of the fast-growing Davison Township economy. Since 2000, the township has seen nearly a 6% increase in population growth. And on top of that, the township is projected to expand by more than 16% by 2035.
Lake Callis not only shows how far the township has gotten, but a sign of what is still to come. Reporting for DTV News, I'm Grant Palmentier. If you haven't taken a splash in the new waters, it will be open as long as it's warm out. Any questions about hours in the pavilion are on the Davison Township website. This year's homecoming is arriving earlier than normal, and that means the game, the dance, and everything in between are just a few days away. Spirit Week kicks off today with the opportunity to show off what decade you're from. Tomorrow is Twin Tuesday, find a buddy to match.
And on Wednesday, it's Jersey Day, whether it be your favorite Lions linebacker or Davison Cardinal quarterback. Thursday is Class T-shirt day, so make sure you get your snazzy shirts before then. They'll be available in the cafeteria all week. And finally, on Friday, as always, the week wraps up with Maroon and Gold Day, so put on your Cardinal colors and get ready for the game. In other homecoming news, freshmen, you are needed to participate in the homecoming parade this Friday. Make sure to swing by Mr. Karan or Miss Slattery in rooms 225 or 268 to get more information. And all students, don't forget to pick up your tickets to the big dance on Saturday. They're $5 at all lunches this week or $7 at the door. The dance will be from 7 to 10 in the evening.
The first blood drive is coming up soon, and NHS wants you to know everything about it. The annual fall drive is scheduled for October 23rd, and the Red Cross will be taking blood donations in the AMR from anyone who is eligible. Remember, if you're under 16, you must get a parent consent in order to donate. Forms are available in Mrs. Heaner's room, or you can sign up during all lunches. The blood drive is sponsored by the National Honor Society, but they can't do it without the help of other NHS members. Sophomores, juniors, and seniors with a GPA of 3.5 or above can grab an application from Mrs. Heaner in room 300.
For some of us, it's the last year back to school, but for others, it's only the beginning. The Back to School Blast is hosted by Davison Schools for kids and teens alike to celebrate going back to school. The annual event took place last month and was a huge success, with families coming from all over the city. We asked some of the kids what they were looking forward to most about this school year.
I think it's recess.
Seeing who's in my class and what new stuff we do.
Math.
A wide assortment of answers there, but nonetheless, students have a lot to look forward to this school year. Good luck to all students. Yearbooks keep track of what happens from year to year so you can relive all the moments that may have slipped from memory. They're on sale right now, and the yearbook staff needs your payments. Head over to jostens.com or give your $80 to the main office to place your order. Get them in before October 2nd in order to make sure you get one at the end of the school year, whether you're a freshman or a senior. DTV unleashed a new department, and they released something unprecedented in DTV history.
And in sports, Trace Clinton talks about a newfound annual tradition for the varsity football squad. That story and much more coming up after the break.
Homecoming week is upon us here at DHS, and along with it come a few of my favorite things: the parade, powder puff, and of course, school spirit. I'm Trace Clem, but what I have to say I'm most excited for is this Friday night when the Cardinals will host Flint Southwestern once again for this year's homecoming football game. Davison looks to be in good shape and had been preparing for Friday, not just for a few weeks, but for the past few months. Over the summer, the guys were even strapping on pads when most of us were already asleep.
What? Midnight? Coach, I gotta go to bed at that time, you know.
Sorry, Marcellus, not tonight. Officially, Michigan high school football couldn't begin full contact practice until August 14th. Technically, August 14th began at 12:01 a.m. So Coach Zimmerman went with the technicality.
It was to try to, make this a community football program, try to encourage everybody to be a part of it, so it's more of an event than anything else, and we still get a chance to get some work in under the lights, kind of create some energy and kind of connect to the community a little bit.
In his second year of coaching here at Davison, hype has been one of Zimmerman's specialties. The practice was open to the public, and anyone from the community could stop by and get a sneak peek of what to expect from the Cards this season.
Really, this first practice and these first few practices are really important to setting the tone for not only the team but the community and how they view it.
They don't want to waste a second, which is really like the goal. They want to show the energy. They want to get the community into it. They want to show that they're excited to start and that they're excited not just to start but to finish the season.
They've all worked so hard to get to this point, and they're so excited to get out there and play. And as parents, we're all really excited to get out there and watch them.
Among the Crickets, the team is working for more than just the height. This year, Zimmerman is focused on reshaping his team from the ground up.
Our strategy is going to be different. We're not focused on strength and overpowering. We're going to be focused on more technique.
We tried to get better tonight. It was first day of pads is always a little ugly, but we did get better. We're out here, got some work done, and so we'll try to do that tomorrow. Get inside.
With new ideas come new challenges, and whatever those challenges may be, Davison will find a way.
1, 2, 3, cheers!
The tradition began last year after Zimmerman took over the head coaching position, and as soon as word spread of his crazy idea, it immediately took flight. The community came out to support the guys, and that number of fans from last year was nearly double this time. I think the fans and the guys on the team are ready for anything. But while the football team has been making strides, the volleyball ladies wrapped up their season strong. At the end of last week, Davison and Traverse City met at Bay City Central to compete for regionals. Mariah Vukai takes charge and slams down not just one, but 2 spikes for the Cards. Later on, Maddie Ramoy bumps up to Molly Preisler, who sets up for R. Wilson, who knocks it down. And the Cardinals were on fire. Olivia Bishop took every opportunity she had to show off her height, putting up point after point for Traverse City. Not only that, but their defensive game was just as strong. They were solid, and Davison had a hard time finding a way through. Though things were close each time, the Cards were swept by the Titans. However, great job making it past districts and becoming regional finalists, ladies. You may have noticed the construction around all the athletic fields. Well, DHS is getting a much-needed facelift. Caleb Dell will walk you through all of the upgrades.
The sounds of construction can be heard all summer long while Davison gets the long-awaited updates that were needed here at DHS.
We're actually strategically putting in a parking lot where those old tennis courts were. And then we're moving the tennis courts a little bit further away, kind of to give them their own space.
You know, we've needed new tennis courts for some time now. What happened was 15 years ago, our courts were in really bad condition. So a short-term fix was done called Sport Court, and that was the plastic surfacing going over top of the asphalt and new fencing. The courts are worn down, they're slippery, and the fences have risen, and it's really unsafe and unplayable conditions right now.
It got to a point where the actual tennis courts themselves were deteriorating.
The tennis team isn't the only team getting an update.
And we looked at the score box at the soccer field, which, like the tennis courts, was long overdue for an upgrade. And so we took those, or basically what we decided we were going to do was get rid of the old score box and put in a brand new one rather than just try to fix up the one that's there. The marching band is a huge part to athletics. To the district as well. We wanted to give them their own practice field as well, someplace that they could call home for practice.
These $3.8 million renewals were supposed to be done by the beginning of the school year, but due to delays, now it looks like these updates are expected to be done by the end of this October.
This whole complex is going to kind of become a facelift for the community, for the school, for everybody, so it kind of makes everybody feel good.
Caitlin Abdallah, DTV Sports.
After the upgrades are complete, the school should look good as new with a few more places for teams to call home. And last Saturday and Sunday, Davison hosted the Girls Golf Regional Finals.
We've worked really hard for this, and I'm proud that it's our 7th year in a row going. We've practiced a lot over the summer and during the spring, not just during our season, so that made us work really hard for it, and we just practice every day.
So once again, the ladies will compete in the state finals held at GVSU this year, a tough course for even skilled golfers. The 2-day contest will take place October 16th and 17th. Good luck, ladies. Make us proud. Wednesday night, ladies from the junior and senior classes will partake in one of the most competitive events of the year, Powder Puff. Junior players still looking for something to dig out of a box in the attic 30 years from now can still purchase a t-shirt from Miss Bruce in the athletic office. Be sure to stop by and grab a piece of your glory days. And before I send you back over to the news desk, here's a quick breakdown of this week in the world of athletics. Tonight, the swim and tennis teams will hit the road and look to continue their current win streaks, while the soccer guys try and pick things back up later today and Wednesday after coming off last week's tough loss to Lapeer. Powder Puff will follow on Wednesday, and of course on Friday, the homecoming football game. I'll see you guys there. But until then, I'll hand it back over to Grant and Alex for the rest of your news.
Thank you, Trace. High school doesn't last forever. College is coming up soon for many people, and Davison High School will be a host to many schools this fall. Kicking things off this week will be Grand Valley State and Hope College. GVSU will be in the auditorium at 9:45 in the morning, and Hope will be in the Career Center at 1:30 p.m. Then, on another busy day, 2 more colleges will be setting up shop. Oakland University and U of M Ann Arbor will be back-to-back in the auditorium, with Oakland at 9:30 and U of M at 10:55 in the morning.
Wrapping things up on Thursday will be Cornerstone University, presenting in the Career Center at 9:30 a.m. There are many more colleges on the way. If you're interested, make sure to stay up with DTV for all those upcoming visits. If you're going to college, you're going to need a little bit of money. To kick off the year, the Tower of Scholarships in the Guidance Office is filled to the brim with applications. In fact, too many to list. The first due date rolls around in January, so while you do still have time, there are many to fill out. If you're looking to build your resume or earn those community service cords, then you're going to need some community service hours. The annual Great Pumpkin Run is on Saturday, October 10th. Both setup volunteers and trail guides are needed for the day. Another outdoor event is coming up called Wonderfully Wicked Woods. On October 24th, help is needed for setup, tear down, and help at all the arts and craft events involved. From 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., at least 15 volunteers will be necessary to assist the people in charge.
And lastly, throughout the next few months, St. John's Family Center needs a volunteer or two to man the welcome desk. If you're at least 16 years or older, get in touch with Mrs. Tina Simmons at 810-652-0304 or email her at tsimmons@stjohndavison.org. The Career Center is the hub for all community service things, so take a trip down if you want to know more. The first year of DTV Films is off to a successful start as Department Director Merrick Allum and Kane Peterson released the first feature-length film of DTV's history. The film, called Arcadia, focuses on a couple of best friends taking on boyhood and searching the small up-north town of Arcadia. Here's a small clip.
Watch your head, bud.
So, this is still an operational lighthouse. Inside this little box here is the bulb we use to power it. Yeah, it's 35 watts is really only, and the reason we use a little bulb is to make sure.
That was again Arcadia, which is available on our website, dtvnews.org, and YouTube. Be on the lookout for more DTV films hitting the big screen soon.
Coming up tomorrow on DTV, we'll have a preview of the annual Powder Puff game on Wednesday. Seniors and juniors, get ready.
This Friday, DTV will be at the Homecoming Parade at 6 and will be showing the homecoming game against Flint Southwestern live at 7. The news doesn't just stop here. Our Twitter and Facebook is updated daily with news, announcements, and other important topics. Make sure to give a follow at DTV_official and like us at DTV News to keep up to date. In addition to these pages, we've branched out to Instagram and now Periscope to give you exclusive behind-the-scenes content you won't see anywhere else.
To rewatch today's newscast, head on over to dtvnews.org, go to the Watch DTV Now tab, and select the live stream to view today's newscast. While you're there, check out all the new features we've added this year to our website. So you guys, Lake Callis was unveiled this summer. Have either of you had a chance to go yet?
Yeah, I went there. You know, it was a good time. It's a really nice place.
Yeah, I loved it there as well when I went, and it should be an attraction to be around for a long time here in Davison. Well, I'm Grant Palmentier here alongside Trace Clinton and Alex Swindle. Have a nice day, Davison.
Before, I didn't have a reason. A reason to care about my education. I didn't have a reason to study, a reason to do my homework. I didn't even have a reason to graduate. But then I found it. It was a reason to push myself. It was a reason to go further. It was a reason to be the best I can be. And my reason saved me. Find your reason.
To you, the people of Flint, I say tonight, as I have before, I am sorry and I will fix it.
Governor Snyder takes responsibility for the crisis in Flint in his State of the State address. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dane Morgan.
And I'm Jordan Bruns. The governor pledges to do whatever it takes to fix the problem, and he says that he will begin to rebuild the trust that has been lost. Snyder also said that residents have a right to know the truth and that he'll begin releasing emails regarding the Flint water crisis.
You deserve accountability. You deserve to know that the buck stops here with me. Most of all, you deserve to know the truth, and I have a responsibility to tell the truth. The truth about what we've done and what we'll do to overcome this challenge.
But the governor wasn't the only one speaking yesterday. DTV's Jordan Hancock is in the newsroom with what the citizens of Flint have to say about Governor Snyder's attempt to move forward.
Thanks, Dane, and indeed the people had a lot to say. Thousands of protesters were gathered in the freezing cold outside the building, waving flags and awaiting action. Lighting torches and proudly wearing the emblem of disapproval was just the beginning, because men, women, and children were waiting outside the building as long as it took. Melissa Mays, who heard the address in the audience, had something to say about what was said and what wasn't.
Just pathetic. Really pathetic, but I didn't expect anything else because, so he's saying he didn't know anything about this till the end of September. That means he's ignored us from April of 2014, May and June, especially when first the brown water was really prevalent. It was in national news, so he ignored us then all the way until September 2015, and that's supposed to make us feel better.
And this isn't the last time the people of Flint will raise their voices and speak up. For now, I'll send it back to Dane and Jordan on the news desk.
Thanks, Jordan. After months of waiting, the federal government finally got involved in the Flint water crisis. President Obama declared a state of emergency in Flint on January 16th, which freed up about $5 million toward aiding the people of Flint.
But $5 million wasn't enough for Mayor Weaver. Weaver took a trip to meet with President Obama in D.C. on January 19th. She claimed that Obama needed to hear what was going on directly from someone in Flint, and that the city of Flint needed more support on the federal level. She had hoped Obama would order a disaster declaration to open up millions more in federal aid for the city.
We've always known we needed some federal assistance. This is bigger than the city of Flint can't handle this financially. The state doesn't have the resources to handle it financially, and so we know we need some federal assistance. But the other thing we've asked him to do when he is going to be meeting with the governor, because the state still has to step up and give us some more.
After the mayor's visit to the White House, President Obama spoke for the first time publicly on Flint while he was in Detroit at the International Auto Show.
And I know that if I was a parent up there, I would be beside myself that my kid's health could be at risk. And that's why over the weekend I declared a federal emergency in Flint to send more resources on top of the assistance that we've already put on the ground. We've designated a federal coordinator to make sure the people of Flint get what they need from their country.
Many people in Flint were disappointed that the president wouldn't make the 60-mile trip from Detroit to Flint to see firsthand what the people were going through.
The water crisis in Flint is getting a ton of much-needed attention. Celebrities, activists, organizations of all kinds are lending a hand, offering help, and spreading the word of what's been going on. Notorious for his hard-hitting documentaries, filmmaker Michael Moore has held a rally in Flint, asking for the president to come to Flint and for Governor Snyder to be locked up for causing the crisis in Flint.
This city voted for Obama, I'm guessing by 70% more, 80%,
about 70%, about 75%. Give it go.
All right. This town voted twice for President Obama and has asked nothing. We need the President of the United States help. No, Flint is not alone. I'm here to tell you that Flint is not alone. People didn't know about it. People weren't here. You know, I was off for a year around the world making my movie. I came back to hear about this, and I just couldn't believe it. So, you know, don't despair.
Singer and actress Cher has spoken up about the crisis on Twitter, alongside Big Sean and many other well-known individuals. Reverend Jesse Jackson is in town, speaking at local churches and using his high-profile organization to bring awareness and action to solving the problem.
Another part of the so-called conservative agenda, and that's why it's a disaster zone, and that's why it should be funded as such. And the government should be directly involved. It should not wait for the state, which has been who set up the scheme, to be the watchdog.
Coming up in sports,
DTV's Caitlin Abdella has a story on one of DHS's strongest athletes.
Before, I didn't have a reason. A reason to care about my education. I didn't have a reason to study, a reason to do my homework. I didn't even have a reason to graduate. But then I found it. It was a reason to push myself. It was a reason to go further. It was a reason to be the best I can be. And my reason saved me. Find your reason.
Hey Davison, I'm Keelan Abdella here on the sports set for another segment of DTV Sports. As you may know, Davison is a football town, and on every fall Friday night, families from all around Davison come to Cardinal Stadium to watch our hometown heroes do their thing. All the time, injuries occur on the field, but when that player goes down and doesn't get up, the stands go from lion roars to cricket chirps. I caught up with junior Cam Tomczak to hear a story about when the stands went silent.
McRill to throw it. It's got him down the slot. Turned him around. That's Tomczak. Taken down by Rubik, but not before Tomczak's hurt.
Hopefully not another torn ACL. In fact, it was his ACL, the third time that he tore it. A sidestep in 8th grade basketball, a fly ball in 9th grade baseball, and a twisted catch in 11th grade football was enough to tear Cam's ACL.
He's got a man right there, wide open. That's Tomczak for 6.
For Cam, playing sports is the reason to overcome a series of serious injuries.
So 22-yard touchdown pass, McRill to Tomczak, and the Cardinals are alive.
They were shocked, honestly. Usually it doesn't happen over and over again.
The third time, I think, you think that can't happen again, but as a result, it did. When he didn't get up, I knew, so I immediately went down, knowing that that's probably what we were facing. And it was tough.
Tearing and recovering from an ACL is more than a disabled physical ability.
It's a huge mental thing you have to get through. It's not always your physical ability of doing things.
Cam isn't afraid of not getting better. He's afraid of not being able to do what he loves.
Ever since I started playing football, I loved it, every second of it.
Even after 3 serious injuries, Cam still wants to get back on the field.
In the moment of his high school and him wanting to do what he is passionate about, I can't tell him no.
Cam's love for football makes it hard for his mom to tell him not to play. But after 3 tears, could it be dangerous?
Dangerous, no. I mean, there are still going to be complications in the future. It's been shown that students and athletes that go through ACL rehabs, have ACL tears, and go through surgery, down the road, 10, 20 years, you're looking for an early onset of arthritis in that joint. But in terms of being dangerous, this surgery and the procedure has come such a long way that ideally his quality of life, it should be normal.
The Davison Cardinals are one team with one pride.
I see my friends and family, and everyone's behind me and supporting me, and also my coaches.
This time around will probably be a lot of his football. I call them football family because that's truly what they are to him. Just basically his friends.
It's going to take those friends and a lot of dedication for Cam to be able to get back on the field.
Not only does Cam have his mindset on trying to recover while undergoing physical therapy, but his mind is also set on playing during his last year of high school football. Good luck on getting better, Cam, and I cannot wait to see you next season. Over winter break, the DHS gymnasium went through a miniature-sized disaster. A few years ago, the hardwood was refinished and repainted to give us the look we see today, but since then, there's been a bit of an issue. A moisture leak under the floor caused the wood to bubble up, which sounds minor, but it could be a bit more serious than that.
The unfortunate part with a bubble that comes up on the court is, usually it has something to do with moisture underneath the floor, and anything can happen with it. I mean, it can, do what it did, which is become aggressively worse over a short period of time. Or it can stay like it is, or the moisture can find a way out and it goes down, and you just don't know what to do when you have something like this go on with your basketball court. So
the bubble has been popped, and the basketball teams will be able to play their games as planned. There was a bubble in the gym floor that held the basketball team back from getting the dubs in the past games, but that bubble was popped, and so was Kersley's when Davison walked off the court with their first win. Last year, Davison snagged a win from Kersley by a demolishing score, and this year it was deja vu when they did the same thing as they said, no, 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 not in my house. Dieterle with the ball, and he takes Johnson to McNabb, where he sinks 3 for Davison. Freshman Cade Coleman with the ball now to McNabb, where it goes into the hands of a Hornet, passed down the court, and he throws up the layup and puts 2 on the board for Kersley. Now we've got Fleming with the ball looking for options, takes McNabb's, and he sinks a layup for 2. Hunter Clark breaking ankles, and he looks for options, hits Densmore, and sinks 2 for Davison. Kersley now hops, and right through it goes for another 2. Back and forth it goes. Kersley with a block from Noah Dieterle, but the block isn't good enough, and Kersley gets 2 more on the board. Dieterle to Chittle, liking the hair and that long jump 2-point. Chittle ended the night on top with 15 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. Fleming showed his power with 8 points, 8 assists, and 2 steals. McNabb and Coleman walked off with 11 and 7 points, and Davison finished up a broken losing streak in a pop bubble with a score of 60-46. Great job, boys. After their last game, Mercy, the varsity hockey team, took on Saginaw Heritage. Like every other sport, Heritage came at Davison strong and skated off the ice 7-0. The boys had a long night on the ice, and they tried as hard as they could to hold off Saginaw Heritage and snipe into their net, but unfortunately they couldn't pull it off. I spoke to Coach Teller before the game, and he went over what he tells the team before the game and throughout the season.
You don't always have to be the best team. You don't have to have the best talent. You just have to play the best. You have to play the smartest. You have to be the most efficient team that you can be, and that's, basically what we address. It doesn't matter how good they are, you have to play your game. Let's draw them into our game. Let's not play their speed game. Let's draw them into the slow down game, play our game, and we'll go from there.
Coach Teller definitely has a deep impact on how they play the game. His motivation goes to infinite and beyond levels when coaching those boys. Sorry about the tough loss, boys, but there's always a time to redeem yourselves in the next game. The Davison wrestling team put a beat down at Detroit Catholic Central on January 6th. The team also beat current state champs Brighton before winter break. The wrestling team is shaping up to have another championship run, and hopefully we can hang another championship banner in our gym this year. All right. Coming up in the world of sports, all DHS winter athletes are busy. The boys hockey team is on a roll, and they won't be stopping anytime soon. Kicking off the week on January 20th, the boys will take on Midland at 7 p.m. January 21st, they're heading over to Powers Catholic High School at 4 p.m. And on January 23rd, they're spending their Saturday showing Mount Pleasant what Davison hockey means to them. The boys basketball team cut off their losing streak, and they plan on keeping it cut off. The 3 boys teams, freshmen, JV, and varsity, will take on Fenton here at home on January 19th. And for the varsity game, if you bring your student ID, you'll get into the game for free. JV and freshman teams will be challenging Powers to a b-ball battle once again here at home. And lastly, on Friday, January 22nd, the varsity boys will travel to Powers Catholic to see what they have to offer. And all 3 basketball teams are right behind the boys with a game on January 19th away at Fenton and January 22nd where the varsity gals will take on Powers Catholic on their court. I'd like to see the hockey team get those 3 wins and both basketball teams come home with those dubs. Good luck. Well, Davison, that's all I have for today, but my good pals Jordan and Dane have plenty of more news for you, so I'll give the spotlight back to them. Guys?
Thanks, Kate. Most of you know that this week is exam week. Tuesday will be first and second hour exams, Wednesday will be third and fourth, and Thursday will be fifth and sixth. Friday will give us all a much needed break and there will be no school. If you need a little bit of extra help, you can come in on exam day at 8:15 to meet with your teachers. DECA is also sponsoring a study hall for all students before exams. Study hall will be hosted in the library from 2:36 to 3:30 p.m. and tomorrow from 8:30 a.m. to 9:15 a.m. If you have any questions or need any information, see Mr. Ames in room 105.
Going to college but don't know exactly what you want to do yet? Teen Quest is here to help you get ahead. The leadership training is for students in grades 9 through 12 and can help you land a job. Completion of this program will gain you access to the 2016 Summer Youth Initiative Job Fair, where you'll be open to even more opportunities.
DTV is on Twitter. Follow us at DTV_official for all your updates on the Flint water crisis and live sports action.
Later today on DTV, the district will be running at 7, followed by Undrinkable. And if you missed any of the important things today on DTV, head over to our brand new website, dtvnews.org, and click Live Stream underneath the Watch Now tab.
So guys, we already released Undrinkable 1 to get everybody knowledgeable about this awful tragedy.
Yeah.
Really, it's a huge story, and it's definitely not over, so we're definitely going to be doing more.
We are, and it's going to be great. I'm Caleb Della alongside Dane Morgan and Jordan Bruns. Have a good day, Davison.